The Sephora sale is coming up and it is one of my favorite times of the year, primarily because I just love to see what people recommend for products to pick up. I love when people start recommending kind of their favorite products and really share their tried and true things that they really believe are worth the money, worth the investment, worth the splurge, because, you know, Sephora makeup, not that cheap, pretty expensive. So it's always nice to be able to save some money. But again, it's not even necessarily that I want to actually buy anything. It's more that I just like hearing what people have to say. So I thought I would share some of my top picks, top recommendations of things that I really love and think others might love too if you're in the market for new products when you're shopping at the sale, or if you, like me, just like to hear what people like to say about their favorite products. So let's jump right in. As of filming this, the Sephora sale starts in a week, but if I'm uploading it when I think I'm gonna upload, hopefully it's a Wednesday. I know it starts on Friday for Rouge members to start getting their 15% off, but then Sephora sale is what, the Sephora collection is on sale starting on Halloween for everyone. I believe you get 30% off, and that has some of my favorite brush cleaner, like the actual spray and then actual soap. So the brush shampoo is probably the best brush shampoo I've ever used. I think it's great. It works really, really well. And then there's the Daily Brush Cleaner Spray. This is great for kind of in between when you don't want to do a full-on wash of your makeup brushes. You just want to spritz it on a towel, swirl your brushes in there, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. This is great. I believe I got this at the last year's Sephora sale because this is the jumbo size. It's very affordable and I think it's great. I am running out of the shampoo, so I will probably be picking that up soon. But if you get 30% off, I think that's great. And they work very, very well. These are both the only brush cleaners that I use because I think that they are just so great. And again, I'm a lazy gal, so having a spray brush cleaner really does the job for me. Okay, I'm gonna try to go in some semblance of an order. I don't know how that's gonna go, but let's just grab and go. This is the Caliray Under Eye Brightener. It's in the shade Warm Sun Glow. And I think it's a great under eye corrector. This, while it looks pretty deep on my hand, it works really, really well under my eyes. I have really, really bad dark circles, really dark under eyes. And this does a great job of concealing it. I can blend it out and I could just wear this and be fine and it wouldn't look really, really crazy. I swear by this. This is the best under eye corrector I've ever used. It works really, really well under every concealer that I've tried. So really recommend that. This is the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener. It's in the shade Light. I love this. It's just a nice way just to add some extra brightness under your eyes. Again, with all of the dark circles that I have under my eyes, it's nice to have something extra brightening just to, again, brighten up the under eyes. And I have done where I just wear these two and call it a day, and it looks really, really good. It doesn't look poor and it looks very natural. So I think the under eye brightener from Rare Beauty is a great thing to wear just on its own if you don't want to have really a lot of makeup on, but you just kind of want to have something that reflects off the dark circles and it makes you look a little bit more awake, a little more like you've slept for longer than 2 hours. I think it's a great thing to add. My dark circles are just genetic, so unfortunately there's nothing I can do to get rid of those, but it helps cancel them out for sure, which I really love. This is the Tower 28 Swipe Concealer. It's in the shade BU, which I believe is the second shade. This is far and away the best concealer I've ever used. I was just on a struggle bus of trying to find the right concealer. I don't know, I guess when you hit 25, everything starts going to crap with your skin because everything just starts changing. Horrible for me, really. And it was just like the concealers that I originally using just weren't really working. I don't really know how to explain it other than this has been my saving grace and I absolutely love it. This was probably the first concealer I found that actually was a good shade match with or without color corrector. I can wear this on its own without color corrector and I don't mind it, and I think it looks really, really good. I really love this. It is newer to me. I've had it for several months, so it's not like I've had it for over a year. I really, really love this and I think it's great. So if you're in the market for a new concealer that offers coverage but is still very lightweight, I do think the Tower 20 concealer is the way to go. This is the Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara. I think this is a great mascara. I swear by it. It is one of my favorites. I think it's great. I really like it because I like adding some more volume to my lashes. I have pretty I don't know, I guess I have lengthy lashes. The length isn't something I'm worried about. I always like having it be fuller and more volumized, so that's one that I really gravitate towards, and I think it's a really great mascara. I wear contacts and glasses, and it doesn't irritate my eyes. I can't do drugstore mascaras because it irritates my eyes so much. I don't really know why, and I find that the more high-end mascaras are easier to get off, and so I'm not like scrubbing at my eyes, I'm not like ripping out my eyelashes. That's an area where I'm willing to splurge because my eyes just aren't as irritated by the end of the day with it. Well, I think you could probably live your best life not getting a high-end mascara. If you're in the market, if you're like me, where drugstore mascaras just really irritate the crap out of your eyes, that is a good way to go. This is the Kosas Cloud Set Powder in the shade Candy. As you can see, this is very well loved with this giant dent in the middle. I really do like this pink shade. I think it's been great to add some extra brightness. I happen to wear a lot of pink blushes half the time, and so it just blends in really seamlessly with the rest of my makeup. I also really like the shade Airy, which I think is like one of the first shades in just the regular powder line rather than the brightening shades. I think this formula works really, really well. I don't notice it settling too much into my fine lines. I mean, obviously there's gonna be some settling, but it's nothing that's, oh my gosh, I look old and decrepit. And I just think this works really, really well. I have used Airy. I've used Cloudy all over my face as just an all over setting powder. It works well. It's just a little bit of a tinge too much pink. I just think this is a great formula. I really like it. My only qualm is the packaging sucks. I wish they would get better packaging, but it's a great product, great formula. I really, really like it. So if you're in the market for a pressed powder, I don't think you could go wrong with either the brightening shades or the regular, more skin tone shades. Bronzer, I love the Dior Forever Nude Bronze bronzer. I have it in the shade 30 Tan Matte. It probably seems crazy that I went for one of like the deeper ones. They did not go that deep. This is just the perfect neutral bronzer. I am not someone who looks good in a very warm toned bronzer. I fear I look like an Oompa Loompa, and that's not the vibe I'm going for. I really, really love this because it's such a neutral toned bronzer. You know, it looks kind of orange on my hand. It really does pull very neutral, like on my actual skin, and it just looks so good. I don't know how to explain it. And I love that it takes time to build it up, because I'm someone who I can go in pretty heavy-handed with my products, and then it's just a whole nightmare of, oh crap, now I'm orange and I can't fix it. So I love that it takes some time to build it up, because I just think that makes it more user-friendly and it makes it very foolproof. Me being the fool that just goes in heavy-handed, I'm someone who I prefer more neutral toned bronzers because it just looks better on me and it's just a much better match for my skin rather than more warm toned products. Another complexion product would be any of the Hourglass powders. This one is the blush in At Night. Love this blush, I think it's great. But I think any Hourglass powders you can't go wrong with. I think my biggest recommendation would be their limited edition holiday palettes. I have one from about 5 years ago and I can't find it. I was looking before I started filming. I have no idea where it's at. I know I moved stuff around. I started cleaning stuff. I have no clue where it's at. So, you know, the face palettes from Hourglass, I think, oh my gosh, I think they're fantastic. It's such great value. Personally, I like the Horse palette. It's the one that's the limited edition at Sephora. I think that one's great. Everyone was complaining on YouTube about, oh my gosh, it's all previous released colors. To which I was like, and that's a problem, why? You can go in, like they released it, you go into Sephora or Ulta, if your Ulta carries Hourglass, and swatch all the colors, and then you know right away, oh, I like those colors, so no, I don't like those colors. Like Mood Exposure, oh my gosh, that's my favorite blush. And I had the actual blush of it, but it definitely expired because it was not performing the way it should have. And I love that one. I was like, oh, it's in there, great. There was another, actually that Horse palette is so similar to the palette that I had. It's in my possession somewhere, I just don't know where it's at, but the one that I had about 4 or 5 years ago also had, it was pretty much all those same colors, except instead of the extra blush, it was a whole, like 2 columns of the finishing powder. And I loved that palette so much, which is why I never gave it up even after it was very clearly expired. So that Horse palette to me was such a great value because it was all the shades that I already loved and knew I would use on a very regular basis. So I have no problem recommending that one or wanting that one, even though it's not brand new shades. I think the people who are saying it's not a good value, it's a very subjective thing of whether or not makeup is a good value, but I think it's very subjective of, are you actually gonna wear these colors? It doesn't matter if they're brand new. It's so convenient. They're all in one palette. Then I don't have to go out and buy all the individual ones and spend even more money on it. Like I'd rather spend it to have it all in one place, easy to grab and go. It's just one product and one compact, you know, that I can move here and there. So I think that's a great value because I already know I love the shades. The other ones, I feel like you'd have to go in person and swatch them to make sure you even like them, that they would actually show up on your skin tone. I don't think Hourglass powders are necessarily the most inclusive when it comes to working on all skin tones. I think they have gotten better since I bought it about 4 or 5 years ago. But, you know, I think it's one of those, Hourglass powders are so, they don't always pack a punch. I think they're meant to be lighter. So I think you need to go in and swatch them if you don't already know that you like the shades. And so I don't see why having it be a previous shade is a bad thing. Like, I think it's a good thing if you're someone where you only use that palette and you use it all up, then it's like, oh, I already know I like the shade. That looks similar to this one. Now I can get whatever. I don't know why I'm going on such a rant about this, but they're such good products. They're such good value. I don't think you can go wrong. So there you go. I think that's well worth the money, well worth the investment. I would suggest going in person to swatch it if you've never had before, just so you kind of get an idea. But love those. Oh, love them. If you're in the market for just a single shadow, I recommend the Kulfi single shadows. I have the shade Satara Sparkles. It's like one of my favorite eyeshadows. I use it pretty much every day and I love it. It's so easy. I am someone who I love a full face and I love, you know, doing a full eyeshadow look, but sometimes I don't have the time always. I'm usually running a little bit behind schedule. So if I need to kind of cut time out of my makeup routine, it's gonna probably be from the eyes, and I think this just looks really good. It's just so stunning. It looks really good on green eyes like I have. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. These are ones you need to go in and swatch. I don't think you can trust the swatches online, because there was one online that I was like, ooh, that looks really, really pretty online, and I swatched my hand in store and I said, oh no, that looks awful on me, never mind. So I do think that these are ones you need to go and swatch in person, but when you find one you like, I really recommend it. It is so long lasting. It looks really, really good. I have gotten many compliments when I wear this, so I think it's well worth it. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Fenty Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats. As you can see, mine is very well loved. I think this is such a well worth it product. It's so fine. I love using this as an eyeshadow topper. And I also, when I go to concerts, and not that I go to many, but when I've gone to concerts, I've taken a big like kabuki brush, brushed it in, and so the last time I went to was a Big Time Rush concert over the summer, and I was wearing a bodysuit, and so all this was exposed, you know, like shoulders and my top part of my chest was exposed, and so I dipped in there and just swooshed on over, and I did get compliments on it because people thought it was cute. And so I love something like that where, you know, I could use it on my bodysuit. I don't necessarily use this on my face. I do think as a traditional highlighter, it's a little bit too chunky isn't the right word because it's not chunky, but I want maybe a slightly different look. So I don't necessarily use this as a traditional highlighter, but as an eyeshadow topper, it's fantastic. It's kind of like the ethereal eyes from Makeup by Mario. It's kind of that vibe, just in an everyday product. So I really, really love this. I think it's fantastic. So this is the Kerastase Genesis Serum. It's basically to help your hair if it's like prone to breakage. I find that I have some new hair growth whenever I use this. When I use it, I'm not losing as much falling out from brushing and things. This has really saved my hair. I notice it when I don't use this, that my hair kind of goes back to being a little sketchy. I really love this. And I use 1 dropper a day all over my scalp, and it lasts me a couple months. I think it's fantastic. It is so freaking expensive, so get it on sale while you can, but I can't recommend it enough. I really do think it strengthens my hair. Another Kerastase is the Overnight Magic Serum. This is a sample that we got from, it was my mom's birthday gift, and she got this because she knows I really wanted to try it. This is fantastic. It makes your hair look so good the next day, and it really just helps give it more, I don't know, it just gives it more shine. It gives it more manageability. I think it helps bring out my curls and my waves a lot more when I use it. My hair just looks better when I use it. Again, expensive, but sale. You could always get it on sale. And this is gonna be really, it's probably gonna sound silly. This is the Fable and Mane comb. It's just a wooden comb. I am someone who I have wavy hair, curly-ish, and when I use this and I brush my hair through with a wooden comb rather than a traditional brush, I don't find that my hair gets as frizzy, and I find that my waves and curls still remain intact. Is not really the right word, but it doesn't frizz up. I think it's great. But those are all of my Sephora sale recommendations at the moment of just the things that I've been using, you know, for some time, and can really say, you know, with some level of confidence that I think that these are really great products. I have a whole list of products that I want myself from the Sephora sale. I also have just like a very unrealistic wish list of makeup in general if I had an unlimited budget that I would love to buy. So if you're interested in kind of seeing what my Sephora sale wish list is, or just my unrealistic wish list of makeup in general, let me know, because I think that'd be a fun video to do, and I might just do it anyway, but I'd love to see if that's something that you would want me to do. But thank you for tagging along today. I hope, you know, I gave you some suggestions, some recommendations. I'd love to hear what's on your for sale wish list. Let me know down below. And thank you for tagging along today's video. I hope you consider subscribing to kind of tag along on the rest of this journey of talking about makeup and beauty and all those things. But I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.